sweet little lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Been listening to that motherfucker working y'all on the table too much. Been letting that motherfucker tell y'all sweet little lies. Pimping yourself out of your freedom, your dignity, your self-respect, and your motherfucking worth. No, I ain't talking about as Americans. I'm talking about you illegals. Let's talk. So, who are the only people owed by the U.S. corporation? First, let's look at the corporation. I want y'all to take a good look at all these. And I can hear people, they're like, shit, black people didn't invent none of that. Remember, we created Jack Daniels. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep in mind a lot of things are tainted here because they were kind of stolen from black people. A lot of patents, a lot of inventions were stolen from black people. So it's like, I don't know if you can really say with a straight face that all of this is just necessarily them. I wouldn't say nothing foolish like that. But that's just me. To each his own. Should have just recorded it, but anyway. If you just type in U.S. corporation, because it actually shares a lot of information about a few things. For one, we always got the corporation was just a corporation. You know, there's actually like several in our country. There's like several different types, but listen to this. A corporation is a legal entity established under U.S. law that is distant from its owners, shareholders. This structure offers liability protection to owners, meaning their personal assets are genuinely protected from the company's debt and legal obligations. While it can be more complex to set up and maintain compared to other business structures, the benefits including easier access to funding and potential tax advantages make it an make it a attractive option for many businesses. So wait a minute. Are we saying, because I typed in U.S. corporation, they're just telling you what a corporation can do. Okay, so a corporation can be structured off of, this structure of doing things, making it a corporation, offers liability protection to owners, meaning their personal assets are genuinely protected from the company's debts and legal obligations. Okay, now you know why the rich keep getting richer. Now you understand that because they're going under a corporation, it's a fake name. Anybody who has got money inside the U.S. corporation, when they are representing their money, it is being represented from the corporation, not from them. So that means any legal obligations are going right to the corporation. It's not going to these individuals. This is how bailouts are. All these bankers are the ones moving your money. They're the ones fucking it up. But for some reason, your corporation has to pay off the debt. Why? Because that's how it works. That's how these weasels work. Okay. I'm saying that because of this. That's not even the only form of corporation there is. There's C corporation, C corp, the most common type, taxed as a separate entity and offers the strongest liability protections according to the IRS. However, it is subject to double taxation. Corporate profits are taxed, and dividends distributed to shareholders are taxed again. So what does that mean? Excuse me. That means the company itself is going to get taxed, but so are the shareholders within the company. So if you invest in a McDonald's, you're going to get taxed. McDonald's is going to get taxed. But the person who owns McDonald's, they're not going to get taxed, because that's the whole point of the corporation. It takes the liability of you and it puts it on the corporation. You guys heard of stuff like this with LLCs and everything. Then there's S corporation, S corp, designed to avoid double taxation by allowing profits and some losses to be passed through directly to owners' personal income. It has restrictions on the number of shareholders and their residency status. See, this is more like private prisons. That's more that, look, this is all going down in one corporation. Pay attention. Pay attention. Benefit corporations, B Corp, a for-profit corporation with dual mission to generate profits and create a positive social environmental impact. Excuse me, people that do like community housing, people that build community houses and stuff like that. All those other little private companies. Then there's non-profit corporations, organized for charitable, educational, religious, and scientific purposes, and can receive tax-exempt status. So since they're not taking any money, they can get taxes took off of them. A lot of people do that with recycling. They do that with all different other type shit. It's nonprofit. But you make money. Or I'm sorry, you get exempt off taxes so you don't lose money. People that clean up debris from fires and stuff and do it for free, but under a name. The name is getting tax exemptions. People do this in the South all the time when they, instead of just throwing stuff out to the trash, they call a certain service to come pick it up. You get tax exempt. Junk for Us, people like that, 1-800-JUNK, stuff like that. Last one is closed corporation. Resembles B Corp, but with a less traditional structure and often appeals to smaller companies. So it's like a benefit corp, but it's closed corp. So this makes sense because when motherfuckers is shutting down for some reason, everybody leaves, and it's usually the main few people that stayed, they get all the money. So now that I brought up all these corporations, who does the corporation owe? The ones who never left, but are part of building it. This is why Pan-Africanism will never work. This is why linking up with immigrants is never going to work. They're not from here. If you're a melanated being from the U.S. corporation, you notice all these other melanated beings coming over here, they try to speak on this reparation like they're owed a dime. Maybe they are owed some money, but not from the corporation. Mr. Charlie doesn't owe any of you anything. He doesn't owe any of you Caribbeans. He doesn't owe any of you Puerto Ricans. He doesn't owe any of you Africans. He doesn't owe any of you. Anybody that was established in the corporation, the U.S. corporation in 1776, and from there on, all the people that were here were already classified. That's what people don't get. They didn't call the fucking slave. They had a name for them once they got out of bondage, and it's Negroes and colors. Okay. Some other Negroes and colors have already been paid. They just paid them under a different name called Native American, but they've cashed them out. It's called casinos. Hell, they even regulated them to a reservational land. Not much can grow on it, but some places are plentiful. So those people got some reparations. People talk about the Asians during World War II. They got $20,000 a pop. People talk about the Jews, who we don't even owe money. We don't owe them anything. I don't care if you mixed with other people. That's not the point. The point is, when they say, who would we pay? Because we don't know who's all American Negroes. Yeah, you do. You know goddamn well who American Negroes is. Because American Negroes will show you who they are in a heartbeat. Y'all know we ain't never been to Africa. So anybody talking that African mumbo jumbo wearing dashikis and African medallions and stuff, you know they faking the funk. They never even been over there. They can't be from Africa. So we would clearly have to go by U.S. corporation last names. And then some of them are different type names. Some of them are patriarchal. Some of them are matriarchal. Some of our are occupational last names. You know, some people have church last names. There's so many different names, but we know where they came from. We know where they came from because they're only from one place. Occupational names are only from one place. You're only going to find millers where the millers were. You're only going to find tillers where the tillers are. You're only going to find farmers where the farmers are. Pay attention to the English language, not Old England. It doesn't even sound like this. It don't even sound like. They don't even talk like they used to. Don't even sound like this. You want to hear some Old English? Just read the Holy Bible, the King James Version. Read. Does that sound like what you're talking today? No. So they weren't talking it, so you can't use that. In the corporation, there's only one group that is old. And we know that they're old because they're the only ones that have burnt towns. They're the only ones who have a story of having a name change several times. They're the only main story of people that have like a gruesome summer where they were like just ramshacked and took for all their stuff. And they're still not up. It's not like the Italians and the Irish that usually get hung in the South. It's not like they didn't take over the fire department and police force. There's only one group that's still stuck. And why? They didn't get their leg up like they were supposed to. Lincoln was going to do it. They murked him. The ones who murked him came through and burned down all these people's towns. Took all their patents. This so-called Black History Month, people usually only acknowledge like the preachy people. They don't acknowledge none of the inventors. Maybe George Washington Carver. That's it. It's like you have too many inventors. The American Negroes have inventors with like 60 patents. There are literally American Negroes with 50 patents by themselves. Some others got 3, 4, some got 10, some got 12. It's like, but bro, we literally have somebody with like 60 patents by himself. Man, that's a mortal man. That's a mortal man. He brought 60 things to the world. That's an American Negro. That ain't no African. That ain't no Caribbean. No. That's an American Negro. Shit. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, soul, funk, techno. I can go on forever. All the American music. I told you, one person from here has 60 patents by himself. They just been bleeding our energy, bro. They owe us money, and they know if we would buy ourselves with all that money, we'd have been like took over America. Not in the negative. Like we would have been making the most money. We'd have been coming up with the most stuff. We'd have just been crown jewels all over here. We'd have been walking around with like holy robes and shit. Probably not though, because it's so hot. Like we just walking around, just gliding on the air. They already knew it. So they had to hit our community with drugs and ignorance and breaking up families and not trusting each other and arguing with each other and fighting with each other. They had to put so many buffers and deflections in your way because they already know. If you have sight, these motherfuckers is cold. These motherfuckers is cold. You ain't never heard no stories about the slave plantation didn't have fresh product. You can call people lazy. Excuse me. You can call them nappy-headed. You can call them ignorant. You can call them whatever the fuck you want. But one thing you can't say is none of them plantations were slow on product. And we ain't talking about the selling of slaves. No, we talking about the business they doing. Motherfucker wasn't just cotton out there, bro. They got watermelons. They got carrots. They got all types of shit. What are you talking about? Only one side of the plantation was cotton. The other side is the farm. What the fuck are they eating? What are they like bringing around? They gotta have hogs. How the hell the slave master got the bacon slices and shit? Like, what are you talking about? Even on Forrest Gump, they tipped you off to it. He's like, yo, his whole family was shrimp makers. Okay, so clearly this brother, Bubba, was from like the New Orleans type area. He must have been one of them type of slaves because he's like, yo, I'm cooking shrimp. His whole family was known for cooking shrimp since slavery. So if we have shrimp on a plantation, bro, what is that telling you? It wasn't just cotton. Like, knock that off. Like, you're tripping. The plantation itself was a corporation's form of business. That's why the 13 colonies technically were their own fucking countries at one point. They wasn't even like a part of this thing. They were their own countries. I say all that to finish it like this. Yo, you are tripping if you're going to allow people to come here and think they're owed anything for the way that this is rocking when the industrial industry ended before fucking the Ellis Island boats like really took off. The end of the industrial industry, you could kind of say the 50s, but not really. That's more of the revolutionary industry where the technology is switching, it's getting more advanced. The industrial industry, you could kind of say ends in the 40s, really. And it's like in the 40s, there's still not a large influx of immigrants and migrants in this country. Maybe in places like New York. But shit, the West just had been discovered fucking maybe like 40, 50 years ago. It's like, bro, it's not even, America is still lightweight in development in the 1940s. Like, it really is. Like, what time did they burn Black Wall Street? It's like, you gotta remember when this happens. Red Summer is like 1919. So I said the 1940s. Okay, bruh. That's 20 years. This place is still being built. There's cities that are legendary today that weren't even built yet. I don't even think Compton was built yet. I think Compton's built in the 50s. I think it is. I might be wrong, but some of these towns that are famous, bruh, some of them are like, some of these cities are not even that old. Motherfuckers just built not that long ago. But the only people that's old in the corporation is the American Negro. You call us Indian, you call us Aboriginal, you call us whatever you want. But we gotta talk what makes sense. Excuse me. On the books, they're not gonna say they owe no Indian. They're not gonna say they owe no Aboriginal. They're not gonna say that on the books. They're gonna say your metamorphosis name, the name they switched you into. And you know who that is. That's why I always say American Negro, because that's the towns they was burning. That's the patents they was stealing, is the American Negro stuff. Okay, you turn that from Negro and colored to Black and African American, so we know exactly who we're talking about. I know what what Joe Louis was called. I know what Jack Johnson was called. These people weren't called black people. They was called Negroes. The Negro League. Like, always remember your breadcrumbs. Always remember where it's at. You got the blueprint. It's yours. It's just yours for the taking. So wisen up and realize why they gave us all that foolishness. And hating on each other and being ignorant and not listening to each other. Because at the end, that's how they was going to win. That's the fact. Go.